He landed that right hand.
Yep. It's a good combination there by Cannonier.
I mean, he needs a lot of this. It's got to get ugly. Nice leg kick by the champ.
UFC 276 was a highly anticipated event with some of the biggest names in the sport going toe-to-toe in the UFC octagon. From Max Holloway taking on Alexander Volkanovski to Jared Cannonier taking on the middleweight champion Israel Adesanya. There were plenty of reasons to tune in. Today we're taking a look at the biggest and best highlights from UFC 276 Adesanya vs. Cannonier. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe and check back every week for more Ultimate MMA. Our first fight gave us a bit of a disappointing start with Sean O'Malley taking on Pedro Munhoz. These two were set up to have a great striking matchup, but unfortunately things didn't turn out this way.
Munhoz not biting on these feints, but he's definitely at a speed disadvantage tonight. Sort of telegraph that spinning offering.
Yeah. Good right hand over the top. Oh, just missed with that wheel kick. Oh.
No, it's time.
Right here you see Pedro jab, double jab, trying to close distance, and Sean just had his hands actually pointed straight up.
It really didn't look that bad.
No, it doesn't. But
I mean, you can never tell what happens with the eye.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. It looks worse on that angle.
Yeah.
In round two, it seemed like O'Malley landed an accidental eye poke on Munhoz that put an end to the fight. But many debate if Munhoz played up the injury to get out of the fight. Munhoz has since provided doctor's notes as proof, but we'll let you decide. Next up, we had the classic UFC fighter Robbie Lawler taking on fellow welterweight fighter Bryan Barberena. Both of these southpaws were eager to prove themselves and earn a chance to climb up the welterweight rankings. But only one would come out with a KO victory.
As advertised through 2 minutes.
He's all square now. Look at his feet.
I would like to see Barberena rip the body
Go
here.
back to the body if you're Bryan Barberena.
Oh! Big right hand! Barberena's got him! Robbie's in the ropes!
That'll do it!
Wow.
Bryan Barberena calls his shot and delivers!
It was a high-paced back and forth, with both fighters landing huge blows. But in round two, Barberena landed an onslaught of punches and Lawler was unable to defend himself. Barberena came out with the win by knockout. We can't wait to see Barberena take on Rafael dos Anjos at UFC Fight Night. Next was a heavily anticipated fight between middleweight Sean Strickland and Alex Pereira. Strickland is a controversial figure in the UFC, while Pereira was just coming into MMA after being a dominant kickboxing champion. Pereira had previously knocked down Israel Adesanya during their time in Glory, and it looked like Alex was now coming for Izzy's belt. This fight would be his chance to prove he could go for the championship.
Just took a pretty good right hand there by Pereira.
Both guys stand very straight up.
Yes.
And I think that is why a level change or a shot on Pereira would be good because he's...
Oh! That's what I'm talking about. That's it.
That's why.
That's why.
You cannot stand in front of that man.
Can't play with that dude,
That
man.
power is different. It's extraordinary.
Right away in the first round, Pereira landed a sniper left hook and knocked Strickland to the mat. This was an impressive win for Pereira and earned him a shot for the title against Israel Adesanya at UFC 281. We can't wait to see these two strikers fight again. Next, we had the third fight in their trilogy for the belt between two of the greatest featherweights to set foot in the octagon, Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. Their last fight was a close matchup with a controversial decision, so both men were eager to prove they were the best. This fight did not disappoint.
What improvements have been made? What changes in strategies? It just keeps getting better. That's the bottom line. He stung him with that left hand and a right. Good right hand by Max. Another good right hand by Max. They're getting after it. Man, that is a nasty cut.
Really nasty. Nice sequence there for Holloway.
He's just doing everything perfect. Following the game plan to a T.
Yeah.
Look at that double jab. Blocks the high kick. Sees everything.
Things were not nearly as close this time. Around 5, Holloway's face had seen better days, and Volkanovski kept up his dominance in the octagon. Volkanovski came out with the win by unanimous decision, ending their trilogy with Volkanovski winning all 3 fights. This last fight was between middleweights Jared Cannonier and the champion Israel Adesanya. Izzy had made a name for himself as a fighter who was fun to watch, but tonight the walkout may have been more interesting than the fight.
And he's got to get respect.
Or he's got to be too far, or he's got to be all the way in. Anderson Silva with kicks like that.
Ooh.
Nicely done by Adesanya to that lead leg of Cannonier. Both fighters landing at a 43% clip. Cannonier giving Adesanya something to think about with the level change.
Adesanya pulled out a win with a dominant performance, but many fans were disappointed that this fight had little flair. There's now a lot of talk about Adesanya being a boring fighter, but when he faces Alex Pereira at UFC 281, we don't see any way for that fight to disappoint. Is Izzy a boring fighter? Can Pereira win? Let us know in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe and check back every week for more Ultimate MMA.